Tennessee, James Street. It was established in May of 2005 using the proceeds from our student loan fund. Students are always taking on debt to pay for their education, and the scholarship might be useful in keeping a student in school. And these were two of the reasons that this was started. King College, now King University, ETSU, Virginia Highlands, and Emory and Henry currently receive the scholarship. Very simple eligibility, so it can be given away. A full-time student with residence in Bristol, Tennessee, or Virginia, Sullivan County, Washington County, and attended one of the high schools here. The institution criteria for financial aid is important. They must show demonstrated need, and best of all, the schools choose the recipient. So we don't have to do that. Scholarship started out at $2,000 and increased $500 two times to meet the college's increasing cost. Since 1980, since its inception, 84 scholarships for $142,500 have been awarded. If you attend Emory and Henry College this year as a resident student, your charge is over $45,000. King University, over $35,000, which is more than I paid for my first house. Here to talk to you about his experience as a four-year street scholarship recipient is Kris Mangrum, and as duly noted, he is Anthony and Susan's son. He is Minister of Worship and Outreach at Central Christian Church and a King College graduate in 2013. So would you welcome Kris Mangrum.
First of all, I'd like to thank the club and for Harry for asking me to speak today, and thank you for the introduction. I was going to talk about my dad, but that's already been taken care of. So, for the most part, I want to talk to you today a little bit about my experience throughout college and what this scholarship specifically meant to me as a recipient. I am a lifelong Bristol resident. I was born here, raised here. I often like to make a joke that everything that I've needed to do here in Bristol, in my hometown, is within 10 miles of each other. The place I went to preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, where I work, where I go to the bank, where I get my hair cut, all of that is within a very short radius, and I can get there whenever I need to. And for many people with different personalities, some people prefer the big city, some people prefer country living, but Bristol surely is a good place to live, and I've enjoyed living here my entire life. My great-grandfather was a pastor in Alabama and throughout several states in the South, and my grandfather was also a pastor. And so ministry has been in my bloodlines ever since I was born. And I often went to church as a kid, not super regularly, but we were, for the most part, grew up in church. And it wasn't until high school when a local friend invited me to Central Christian Church here in Bristol, right by Tennessee High, that I really got involved in church for the first time within the youth group and started to learn what the gospel message meant for me. And it's meant so much to me because the friend that invited me to Central Christian asked me to sing a song. He knew that I was a musician, and he asked me to sing a song on an Easter Sunday with him. And had I said no to that question, my life would look a lot different than it does today. I currently serve, as Harry noted, as a Minister of Worship and Outreach at Central Christian, and I also met my wife when I started attending Central Christian. So it certainly meant a lot to me that I ended up at Central many years ago. So as far as my college experience goes, I graduated high school in 2009 from Tennessee High School, and at first I thought I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I love sports. I've coached Little League Baseball since I was 15 years old when they gave me a team full of 9 and 10-year-olds, including my brother. They handed me the keys to that team at 15. And since I've not missed coaching a year since then. I really enjoy sports, and I thought I was going to go into that field. And so I actually went to ETSU in the spring of 2009, looking visit and decided I wanted to go into communications because I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. When I got to ETSU that day, they told me that when I told them what I wanted to do, they said, you do realize that for every person that's on camera for sports broadcasting, there's 20 or 25 people behind the camera as well running the show. And so there was a little bit, I knew there was truth in that comment, but it was a little discouraging for me, and it made me question what I wanted to do with my life. So I ended up attending King College in 2009, and I decided I wanted to be a music teacher. Music has always been in my blood, and I enjoy teaching, I enjoy coaching, and I thought that would be where I wanted to go with my life. Well, that was until I took music theory in the fall of 2009, my first semester at King, and I don't know if any of you have ever taken music theory, but if you don't know a lot about music theory, it's not going to go very well. And so while I did end up doing pretty well in the class, I left that class thinking, I can't do this my entire life. And so I also was pretty good at math, and so I said, I'll just teach math. And so in my freshman year, second semester, I took a teaching class. And the first day, they started going over all the requirements and everything, and I said, this is not for me. So I was running out of options. And so I said, well, I'm still pretty good at math, so I'll just be a math major. So I ended up taking calculus, and again, did pretty well in the class, but got done with calculus and said, there's more advanced math than this. I can't be a math major. So I sought the advice of several people close to me, and they told me, pick something broad, pick something that you can use in any area of life. So I settled on business, and I took economics. And in my economics class, it was there that I realized what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. In my economics class, there was a fellow that sat behind me that knew the answer to every single question that the teacher would ask. And I would get extremely frustrated at this guy because he knew it. Everybody, if anyone in the class had a question, they would ask him, to explain the particular topic. And so one day I was just sitting there thinking, where is it in my life that I am this guy? Where people look at me, look up to me, look for advice. Where is it that I just get it? And it was music. So full circle kind of came around, and I ended up getting a music degree, a vocal degree at that. Now, as a student, I did receive several scholarships going into King. I had a 4.0 in high school, and so I did receive the Hope and the Merit, some academic scholarships, as well as a choral scholarship to continue singing there at the school. But this still fell a little short of my tuition. Now, I was a commuter, so that helped. I didn't have the full room and board because we lived very close to King, and I ended up staying at home. But I remember one day receiving an email to visit the financial aid office that I'd been awarded a scholarship. And so, as you know, in today's world, you can't really trust everything you read on the internet. And as far as I knew, it was a spam email saying they were going to send me money, and I just had to send them some back, and I could keep the rest. You know how that goes. But anyways, I went to the financial aid office that day, and I said, "What is this?" And they said, "You've been awarded the Rotary scholarship. It's $2,500 per school year." And so it came out of nowhere, and that was, in total, it ended up covering over $10,000 of my tuition as a 4-year recipient of the award. And for me, that was big because I did take out student loans to attend King, and I was a first-generation college student. And my family, with me being a first-generation college student, my family didn't know a whole lot about the college process. They couldn't really guide me through what FAFSA stood for or what student loans were like. But I knew that I was told that was what I had to do. And the $10,000 that this group provided for me helped me not to go even further into debt. And there was no college fund for me as I approached college. And so, with that said, students themselves aren't super educated on what student loans are about, what's the difference between subsidized, unsubsidized, interest rates, those kinds of things. But anyways, that helped me a ton going into college. And so, and summing that up, in May of 2013, I did graduate with a Bachelor of Music and began full-time work at the church in July of 2013. I've been there ever since. It'll be 6 years in July. And as you know, on student loans, there is a grace period that 6 months after you graduate. And so come December of 2013, following graduation, it was time to start paying those loans back. And I was extra thankful then that there was more than $10,000 that I didn't have to cover. So I began repayment on the student loans, and by the end of 2016, I had paid them off completely. So I got rid of my student loans at the end of 2016 and will not have to deal with student loans in my life ever again. I know that for me, I worked hard to do it, but I know that some people aren't as lucky and blessed as me, as we currently have students that, as Harry said, are taking out more money than we're borrowing on houses in some particular situations. And so that was a huge weight off of my shoulders, and has helped me tremendously in getting my life started. Since graduating college, I did get married in 2017. We bought our first house last year, and we just announced on Saturday that we will be expecting our first son this fall. And so it has certainly helped me to get things going in my life. And the most important thing to me, and I'll leave you with this, is I want to leave a legacy. I want people to remember me, perhaps like we remember the gentleman here today, that he made a difference in people's lives, and he certainly did. And whether it be coaching or just raising my child to be a good citizen, or maybe even helping people go to college by starting a scholarship fund myself, or some kind of award that allows kids to go to college and lessen that weight of student loan debt. Whatever that may be, that is my ultimate goal, is to leave a legacy like that on whoever it may be. And so with that said, I want to again thank you for doing the program. It certainly meant a lot to me, and I know that there are many students that are recipients of the award, and I speak for myself and for all of them today to say thank you for your support, and that it is truly making a difference in our lives. So thank you.
So if you ever wanted to attend a meeting where you were both proud to be a Rotarian and humbled by what we can do and what's been done and what the future holds, this would be the one. Kris, thank you. Very, very good. A book will be donated in your honor to the children's section of the Bristol Public Library, and yours is Can You Turn the Page? And we'll ask you to write something in it before you take off. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Congratulations again to Susan. Please stand as we recite the full-day test. The things we think, say, and do is it